Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Wow. It is Tuesday.
And happy day before.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, we are on the air.
We're on the air.
Yeah.
Happy day before St. Patrick's Day. That was a rather appropriate opening song there, Mr.
You know who it
Bowles.
is?
That's not the Orphans, is it?
It is.
I thought I recognized the girls.
The Orphans.
The Screaming Orphans.
Oh, the Screaming Orphan.
Yeah.
Oh, terrific.
I think that's exactly appropriate for what we're doing.
Yeah,
And, you know,
yeah.
and
Well, it is Tuesday morning. Bob Plass, the Westfield on Weekend Show, and we've got that voice you just heard is Jay Pagluca. I just wanted to show you the trusty, dusty, lusty, musty, maybe Irish, well-modulated sidekick from Italy.
I'm Irish one day a year.
Right. And over there in the control booth in the center square is Peter Coles, the definitely Irish. What was your... Coles is on one side, Swords is on the other.
Correct. I
Yeah.
got some Crowleys in there on the sword side and things like that. Yeah.
Wild. And behind us is the castle of Cashel.
Is that what it is?
Is it
The
haunted?
Castle.
Is
Okay.
is it haunted?
Yeah, I guess it's haunted. I may have been there. I can't. They all look alike to me. But
And they're
at
all
any rate,
haunted.
Welcome. Judge Jay, you were saying Screaming Orphans. What were you saying?
Screaming Orphans was one of the last shows we did just about a year ago.
It was the last one.
Yeah, no, we did a country show the following day.
Oh.
But the
Okay.
Orphans were here just about a year ago here in town, and over from Donegal, Ireland. And I recently heard back from them because we were trying to find out if they were going to be able to get back to the States this summer. And unfortunately, they are not.
Oh,
I was
God.
contacting them for the Scottish festival that we do. Traditionally has been at Look Park for many, many, many years. This year, we're not going to be able to do it up there. The traditional festival where you bring 6,000 people in, could it be ready by July? But
Yeah.
erring on the side of caution with both Look Park and, of course, the health department up in Northampton, they're saying
They're a little bit more conservative on
probably
that
not a
part.
good idea. However, since we're doing a series of drive-in shows here in Westfield,
Yeah.
then and we started talking about, as the festival committee started talking about, doing maybe just a Celtic show, a Celtic drive-in concert.
Oh, I
with
think
some
that's
live
terrific,
music.
yeah.
And the first one, the first band I suggested was the Orphans. They can't make it over, unfortunately, and I heard back from their band leader, as it were. However, one of the things that has happened here is there is a Celtic vacuum.
Oh, boy.
What-
We had a vacuum before because somehow or other the Westfield vacuum swooped every Irish person from Dingle or where in that area into our town.
Not that kind of a vacuum.
No, okay.
But there is a musical vacuum. It seems that on New Year's Eve or New Year's Eve weekend or somewhere around New Year's Eve, Enter the Haggis plays Northampton up at the Iron Horse.
Oh,
Usually
yeah.
4 shows.
Mm-hmm.
This past year, of course, they did not.
Yeah.
We just heard, yesterday, heard back, and they are probably going to be available for us. They're going to come down and do a little Northeast tour, and they're going to be available to us on July 17th.
Wow.
They may be at our Scottish Festival Celtic drive-in thing that we're going to do.
Scottish Festival Celtic Drive-In.
Right.
Okay.
Which is
Thanks.
the
I'll
Celtic,
be right back.
Which is the Celtic festival that happens in Northampton is not happening this year. So maybe there's a chance we're doing it in a drive-in version in Westfield.
Basically, we're bringing the music, sans everybody jamming together. But it'll be a drive-in, the same way we've been planning the drive-ins for this fall, and we're gonna do that in July. So this will kind of kick off our
Your
our
summer concert series.
concert festival here in town.
Right.
Although there is one in Southwick as well that I'm working with, and
Right.
I just could not be happier. It's all starting to come together, and
Yes.
we've posted the dates and some of the bands, the ones
Right.
that are committed,
Right.
Not to mention we're committed at westfieldconcerts.com. So go out there and you can find out a little bit more. Keep an eye out there. Tickets are on sale now, however.
Really?
For Roomful of Blues on May 14th and Beatlemania in June. So check those out.
Oh, my God. Fabulous. Fabuloso. And I think that some of those concerts are sponsored by Westfield on Weekends. I think we've got a presence at all of them. And you can, we can start to put that on our website, westfieldonweekends.com. So, hey, I just want to give a shout out to Christine, my hairstylist, who made this lovely
Is that where you got that?
Irish mask
That's
for me.
cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Do you know that the high school is doing individual corned beef dinners? Did you know that?
I did. Yeah, but it's too late. You had to order them last week.
Oh, really? Oh, God! Is the day? And I think the deadline is Wednesday, March 10th.
That's last week.
That was last week. Okay. All
See,
right.
I looked at that because I got all excited this morning when I saw that. I go,
yeah.
Oh.
Well, I was worried that I was going to have to stand in line for the corned beef. And so I've got my 4 pounds of corned beef that I'm going to, for the first time, I'm cooking them in a crock pot tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That makes it a little bit more tender.
Yeah. I think it's 6 to 8 hours in a crock pot. And there are all these recipes. I bought my stout. I'm making soda bread this afternoon. So James and I, Irish soda bread is basically a scone with caraway seeds. Maybe my Irish folks will probably be going, no, that's not it at all. No,
it's your version.
It's
That's
your
the class version.
Yeah. But I found a couple of good versions. Mine, in fact, I had to go out and buy buttermilk because I usually don't use buttermilk in my scones. But one of the versions that I found used buttermilk. So
All right.
you
next
like
question.
buttermilk?
What's the difference between buttermilk and regular milk? Of course, then we can get into the 1%, 2% non-fat. And all
Oh, yeah.
that, but
Well,
just
buttermilk
whole
is...
milk and cream.
I think that buttermilk, if I'm not mistaken, is a step after cream. Cream happens, and then cream sours and then becomes buttermilk. Is that correct, Irishman?
I don't know. That I don't know.
But
Yeah.
where does heavy cream fit in there? And, of course, my favorite, whipped cream.
I don't know how they get the whipped cream into the can.
You milk
I've
the
never.
cow really fast.
Yeah, really. How does that happen? How does whipped cream happen? Tell you know.
Okay, so how to make buttermilk from the internet. Mm-hmm. It's called a dairy swap. All you need is whole or 2% milk and fresh lemon juice or white distilled vinegar. Use milk, pour milk into a liquid measuring cup, add acid. For every 1 cup of milk, stir in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar. Ready to use, the acid will curdle the milk slightly. Buttermilk on demand.
Great. Now, that's how to make it. Does it happen naturally? Does it happen really in nature, I wonder? Do you think that it really happens in nature, or?
Well, you have to have an acid of some sort.
Okay, so if your milk didn't get near an acid, it would not turn to buttermilk.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
We need a chemist now.
Yeah.
Where's Chef?
I don't know.
Chef Slattery?
My mother used to drink a glass of buttermilk. She loved buttermilk. You know, it wasn't a tumbler, but
Okay,
it was
so
a small cup.
From Wikipedia,
Yeah.
buttermilk is a fermented dairy drink. Traditionally, it was the liquid left behind after churning butter out of cultured cream. However, as most modern butter is not made with cultured cream, but sweet cream, most modern buttermilk is cultured. It's common in warm climates, including the Balkans, Middle East, and southern United States. Unrefrigerated fresh milk sours quickly. Buttermilk can be drunk straight, but it can also be used in cooking, making soda bread. The acid in buttermilk reacts with the rising agent, sodium bicarbonate, to produce carbon dioxide, which acts as a leavening agent.
There we
Buttermilk
go.
is also used in marination, especially chicken and pork. where the lactic acid helps to tenderize, retain moisture, and allows flavors to permeate the meat.
Right, right. You can tell how popular it is by how many things they have at the Big Y. And they got all this milk and almond milk and soy milk or whatever. And they found like 2 varieties that were just one little row long of maybe 4 or 5 buttermilk. Buttermilk this kind, buttermilk that kind, and that was it.
Well, there's a running disagreement with Marion and I about how much whipped cream is healthy. Just, as far as I'm concerned, for every
the more the better.
Bowl full of rich ice cream that I have, I just need an equal amount of whipped cream.
Oh,
well, and yeah, is it healthy or not? Probably not. I could stand to lose a few pounds.
Well, that Kelly Ripa does one of these things. She loves it as a treat at night, and she sometimes eats it out of the can. She opens her mouth and just goes.
Well, there's a great commercial with Taylor Swift, and I can't remember what the commercial's for, but she's playing a
waitress,
a waitress behind the soda, the
diner.
The soda
she's
counter.
in a diner, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got 2 little kids in front of her, and she gives them ice cream, puts a little bit of whipped cream on them, and then the kids realize who it is, and the eyes get wide, and she gives them a little wink, walks away, goes around the corner, and takes the whipped cream and.
I think she was promoting her new song or something.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was like an iTunes release or something like that.
Really?
It's a cool commercial. So that's my thing when I walk by the refrigerator when Marion's in the room. She doesn't even have to be in the room because she can hear it and she knows what I'm doing.
Oh.
So I'm over at Costco. Now,
Yeah.
Costco doesn't just sell one whipped cream.
No, you have to. Yeah.
3
a
big,
year's supply.
heavy, oversized cans of whipped cream. So whenever we're going to Costco, she wants me to go with her. I know why, because she wants somebody to haul all the stuff around.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And and push the carriage. I says, well, can I buy one thing?
Yeah.
And sometimes I tell her I want a big TV. I never get that. Sometimes I tell her I want whipped cream. Sometimes I can sneak that into the carriage.
Yeah.
So I went there alone one day, and she needed milk. No, she needed cream. She needed cream. So I go up, and that's all I was going to get. Just a little thing, and that's probably the only thing they sell one of at Costco is one of these creams.
Oh, okay.
So I
it's like a big.
No, the little quart.
Oh, the little. Okay, got it.
Wait, not even a quart, a pint maybe.
Yeah.
So I get this pint, and I'm going up to the register, and I get there, and they go, "Oh, your card expired. Would you like to renew it?"
Oops.
Oh.
I'm going. That's why she wanted me to go here for just cream. And I say it loudly enough for everybody around to hear.
You see all the guys shaking their head going, yeah.
They're all
Speaking of
behind
which,
me
I
with-
have-
with little bits of cream,
Yeah, sure.
I have your commercial if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is? Oh, you have a commercial. Well, now, okay. So this is. Oh, here we go. What is this? Oh, here is this picture of
Why isn't that
Taylor
playing?
Swift, and she is doing the top of the commercial.
Oh, that's the blooper reel.
Oh, these are the bloopers of Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, goes on.
Why isn't it playing
Look at those
audio?
bangs. Honest to God, they've grown on me. And congratulations, incidentally. Did you know Taylor Swift made the Grammys award this week again for a record time or something? I don't know. Oh, these are all the bloopers. Her hat falls off. Oh, there you go. There she
Speaking
is.
of Taylor and the Grammys,
Yeah.
who won a Grammy that's nearby here?
Who? Tell me.
James Taylor. James Taylor won a Grammy for his album.
Who does? It's
James Taylor, the guy, the guy that lives in the Berkshires.
James Taylor. Which album? I can't.
It was a standard American Standards album that he did.
I love that
last
album.
year.
Yes, as a
And
matter
it
of
was
fact.
just phenomenal, and that puts him as one of the very rare people that have won Grammys in all of many different categories, and I don't remember.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Probably
congratulations
decades,
to
too.
Yeah.
James Taylor.
You know, I didn't watch them, even though I think it's a better show than the Oscars because it's more than just awards. but
Sorry, I didn't like the host.
Are you
It's
saying
Trevor
you
Noah,
like,
right?
you like
yeah.
you like your Grammy better than your Uncle Oscar?
I do. My Uncle Oscar. Yeah, I've sort of gotten over my attachment to watching award shows.
in general.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
get boring. They
Yeah,
really
not only
do
do they get and this year's Oscars, oh my God! I read the list of contenders yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I looked at it and I said, "Boy, there are a lot of unknown people that I have no idea who they are." Number one, and two, the list of movies is actually impressive, especially since they're not all the kind that we think are going to win Oscars. They're like some of them are unknown or smaller movies. Like there's one called The Father, and actually there's a Korean movie called Minari. I think it's Korean, or maybe it's Japanese. That is running for the Best Picture award this year. So another year of a foreign film has a possibility of winning, and the films about black culture are really dumb. There are a lot of them. There are 2 or 3 or 4.
Here's where I crack
Yeah,
up, Bob.
yeah.
It's the year of the woke.
The who?
What's that mean?
Woke?
Woke.
Yeah, look it up, Bob.
The year of the woke.
Is that
WOKE?
Correct, yes.
is that the past tense of a walk?
Yeah.
Well-
I'm not exactly sure, but I hope it's not in reference to the idea that there are this is a year that has a lot of black movies. This is a year that also has a lot of women that have been nominated as well. But at any rate, hey, did you know that today is actually a holiday? It's do you know what saint we're honoring today?
The one that's before Patrick?
No, it is actually. I got to put my glasses on. It's Saint Urho's Day.
Who?
Urho.
What?
U-R-H-O. Urho. U-R-H-O. And it's a Finnish holiday that, get this, once upon a time, many years ago in Finland, they say...
Wait a minute, stop right there. Every time there's some kind of fairy tale from the Scandinavian country, it always starts with once upon a time in a land very far away.
That's right. That's right. Once upon a time in a very okay. The grapes were growing all over. The grapes were all over, running all over, like Italy. How did? Yeah.
No,
Well,
that's here.
one season, a bunch of grasshoppers, locusts, with a voracious appetite for grapes, happen to hop onto Finland. What do? Enter our hero, the great Finnish hero Saint Urho, waving his pitchfork and chanting in Finnish, I guess. Hainsarka, Hainsarka, Mentalata, something like that. That's it
Clearly
means
you're not very well.
No, it means
you're an English teacher, Bob, not a foreign language teacher.
yeah. Grasshopper, get the hell out of here. Right. He drives the grasshoppers out of Finland. How do you like that?
In his
Out of
Saab?
the- no,
did he,
out of-
did he drive them out in his Saab?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry.
In the vineyards. Now, I'm sure in Minnesota, wish they were getting rid of the mosquitoes. However, in Minnesota, they celebrate today. They celebrate Saint Urho's Day. The Finnish grape farmers were very protective of their fields, and they were so happy. So rumor has it they injected vodka into their grapes to give them a bigger alcohol content. Feeling so happy and grateful to Urho, they declared him a saint. He did this on March 16th, the day before St. Patrick's Day, which just by chance is about St. Patrick driving the... What did he drive out of? He drove the snakes out of Ireland.
The snakes or the rats or something.
Yeah,
he
no,
didn't like.
snakes.
Yeah, okay,
That
it
was the
snakes,
Pied
okay.
Piper. Okay. So it begins at sunrise. Women and children go down to the lakeshore and chant, Haina Circa, Mena, Tata, Haiko, whatever it is, just like St. Urho did. And then you all drink grasshoppers, I suppose. The men dress in green and gather at the top of the hill and then start a procession to the lake, waving pitchforks to scare off the imaginary grasshoppers. The celebration also includes singing, dancing, polkas, drinking wine, grape juice for those underage, and having minhaka, fish soup pronounced moyaka, which is what Saint Erhu ate to give him strength to fight the grasshoppers. Did you know? Really? And that's it. Okay, but the real truth of
how much strength do you need to fight a grasshopper?
I don't know, but that's all. That was all supposedly invented by somebody in 1917.
It's cold up there. They have a lot of time to invent things and write them down.
It began, according to Minnesota tradition, St. Erhu's Day began in a town called Virginia, Minnesota. Now, there's a problem there. A state with Virginia, Minnesota. It's 90 minutes north of Duluth, all right? And
that's got to be almost Canada.
Yeah. Teasing one another about their old country and their traditions is a way of life. And so somebody said, well, why can't we have a St. Patrick's Day when everybody celebrates Finland, et cetera, et cetera? So a man named Richard Mattson, who worked at a department store, started this whole thing after drinking a lot of booze, probably. And since then, and he wrote a funny ode. Now another guy wrote this ode to a Finnish boy named Erhu, who got enormous strength from eating fish soup and sour milk. So some say that he is the originator of St. Erhu. And coincidentally, in 1956, the president of Finland was Urho Kekkonen. So apparently, at any rate, happy St. Erhu's Day. You wear green and purple, and in Virginia, Minnesota, they are doing the celebration.
See, now we're talking about Finland, right?
Finland.
And they mentioned wine.
Yeah.
And do you watch a lot of the Travel Channel things? You know, you see,
no,
somebody goes out.
I'd be glad to if you.
Well, okay. Well, just one program I'd seen, and Marion's always got these things on.
Yeah.
So, I'm sitting down, and we're watching, and it's some wine guy who travels the world in search of great wines. And he ends up in a Scandinavian country, and I'll say Finland because I can't remember exactly where he was. And he's searching for a local wine because he loves to go places and find the local wine. Everywhere he's going, he's asking for what's your good local. Nobody's got any. They got all of these funny liquors, but they don't have a good wine, a local wine. No, everybody says no. We just
you're in the wrong territory.
And it's not till the last day that he's there that he realizes nowhere in where he's got grapes don't grow there. There's no wonder there's no wine. He's there for like a week and a half, and finally somebody goes, "Grapes don't grow here. That's why we don't have wine."
By the way, did you guys hear the news? Leo's Gallery is closing Friday.
I meant to. I got that on my thing here. Speaking of
They're
wine,
retiring.
Speaking of wine and grasshoppers,
Hey, Bob.
Whining about Leo's.
You want to buy a restaurant? You think you can cook?
Well,
You've gotten all that Blue Apron experience now.
Sure. Marie, who is the wonderful woman, Leo worked at Westfield State in the culinary department. I think he was the head of food at Westfield State for many years, and then he retired and bought this restaurant. And they are retiring, and the breakfast group that we've had there for 20 years that I never attend, they all know. They all know. Occasionally, I'll make an appearance, but I just can't get.
And they applaud.
Oh, they do. They applaud. They applaud.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Plass.
Yeah. So we got an email last night from Jackie Wheeler, who she's our good friend, who invited us all to go Friday rather than Saturday, since Saturday will be the last day. And most people responded that unfortunately they haven't had their second shot yet, and they're not going to go. But we're all going to do something special for Leo and Marie, who poured coffee for this grouch for years before I got the idea that it was because I was lacking sleep. And I sort of slept in.
Is that why you're the way you are in the morning on Tuesday?
Oh, listen, last night I was in and out of sleep. I'm trying this. I was reading a book on psychotherapy, believe it or not, even though I'm no longer a psychotherapist. I was reading a book on psychotherapy using Buddhist principles this week.
Is there something we can read into this? The fact that you're a psychotherapist?
Oh, yeah, like all barbers are bald. All barbers are bald. All psychotherapists are this. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ever become...
They're all neurotic. That's why they
Yeah.
got into the business.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. That's why I
am
got
I
in
the way
business.
I am?
I was in therapy for 19 years in New York City, so I really have a great background in therapy. I had a great therapist all those 19 years, and I started to think myself, geez, 19 years. There came a time when I stopped therapy because I said, I know how to do it. I know how to. I know what the tricks are, but I also know myself better than I know anything. So
And that's the bottom line.
And that's the bottom
Stone
line.
Cold said so.
Yeah.
So how do you know when you go to these therapy sessions?
How do you know when it's over?
How do you know when it's over?
Well, if you've got a good therapist, okay, listen to this, everyone. Therapy is the only business in the world where you try to not have the business. In other words, you try to make your clients better. And it's not like a doctor where they know there's going to be another cold down the way or something. Well, hopefully you train them and you teach them, and it's more teaching. It's more helping them to know themselves so that they don't feel as blue or as anxious or whatever, or they've got medication that they have to take care of, or perhaps it's a substance use problem and they need to
But you
deal
still
with an
get to the
addiction.
end of the hour, and they go, "Well, I'm sorry, our time is up."
Oh, I have that
Next
perfect.
week.
Yeah, no, that's
We'll
right.
see.
You say
It's always, "We'll see you next week."
Right.
It's never. I don't want to see you anymore.
I'm sorry, our time is up. That's what I.
At the end of the
basically
hour,
say.
the therapist just plays the sweeper.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. So
I know. I basically.
That's your cue to leave.
I would say, no, oh God, we've got about. I give them a 5-minute warning. You know, like, where else do you get 5-minute
have you
warning?
ever
Wrap it up. You're
in
done
theater,
in 5
you get
minutes.
a 5 minutes. You're on stage, Mr. Mill. Yeah.
right now, because it's the bottom of the hour? So how do you know when the therapist you're done with the sessions and he's done with you?
When he starts looking at his watch and the clock.
No,
and
when
then-
his boat is paid off.
When his what?
When his boat is paid off.
When his boat is paid off.
Okay.
Oh, for Pete's
Got to
sake.
go to break.
All right.
If you,
Hey,
go
yeah.
to if you go to a cheaper place, they do this.
Snap out of it. I give you a big slap, and yet you got to get out the door. But leave that $50 or $150 or $175 on the bureau as you go out, or give it to the receptionist. Make sure you make your pay. At any rate.
Lord.
All righty. So, hey, we're going to play a wonderful song by the Coors. We're playing music by women throughout the month, of course, because it's Women's Month, and we appreciate all women of the world. So I'm going to play a song by the Coors, Corrs, called Toss the Feathers. And this isn't one. It's Toss the Feathers, traditional Irish folk tune.
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass and Jessica Martin, the diva of real estate, books, and bees.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow-y, it is a wowza, woo-woo time.
What are you talking about, Bob?
Wowza, woo-woo is some expression from some cartoon or something. Wowza, no, wait a minute. The Darcys are here. I thought they were coming at 7 o'clock. It's so wonderful.
They're prompt, unlike you, Robert
Look
Plass.
at you. Have they put their sound on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good. Bob, are we good? Jessica, Peter?
Good morning. Yes, I can hear you guys.
Morning.
Look at you.
Happy Day tomorrow.
Happy St. Patrick's Eve.
Oh, thank you very much. It's actually St. Urho's Day. Did you know that it's the Finnish saint who drove the grasshoppers out of Finland because they were eating the grape leaves in their vineyards? Save the vineyards of Finland. St. Urho's Day, purple and green. And you, now, Mary, you had no idea? Yeah, Mary Darcy's got her mouth open like she just, yeah. You mean the Finnish have... Oh.
Didn't St. Patrick drove the saints out of not the saints. He drove the snakes out of Ireland.
With St. Arrows.
But that sounds very familiar. I think they piggybacked on St. Patrick's.
It sounds like
it's exactly right. No, the truth of the matter is.
Hey, you know what? That's illegal now. The cultural appropriation stuff. St. Patrick's Day was first.
Oh well, I think you're absolutely right. The cultural standards.
Finland that's listening, right? Was it Finland?
Yes, Finland.
Yes. Apologies to all the people from Finland that are listening.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I was thinking about that. I can't remember. This is terrible. I don't think I know one person from Finland. Have you met anyone from? Do you have a friend? Anybody who's in our circle that is from Finland?
I think Christy has some Finnish blood in her.
Oh, really? Oh, your girlfriend. All right. So that's close. Any, Jessica?
Off the top of my head, I can't.
Where do you go for a nice Finnish restaurant? Have you ever heard of this? No.
No. Don't they beat each other with sticks? Bob? Don't they jump in the...
Well, that's how you get rid of the grasshoppers. You beat them with whatever. This was a holiday. St. Urho was made up by some department store owner or something in Wisconsin, in Virginia, Wisconsin. But it managed to become a thing in Wisconsin. And so they, in Virginia, Wisconsin, there's even a statue, I think, of St. Urho with the locusts and the pitchforks. You're supposed to have. So today, I want you to go out in your yard, Mary. Get a pitchfork from the garage from your husband, and yeah, I want you to be go chase a grasshopper with a pitchfork today for us.
So you were going to say a squirrel, and that's all that's out there.
Well, yeah, go chase a black squirrel. Hey, everyone, that's Kyle and Mary Darcy, who I invited. They're in their bar, actually. Where is that? Are you in your bar?
Yes.
Yes. When the pandemic struck, Bob, the Chinese built a hospital inside a week, and we had actually prepared for such a thing, and we already had our bar built.
We are a bunker bar.
Yes.
A bunker bar, fabulous! Oh, that's really good.
It's very important to prioritize when things get difficult.
That's very true. Thank God you're going to drink your Finnish wine, and is there such a thing as Irish wine? I bet there's Ireland probably has vineyards now somewhere.
I know it's the south of England that started because it's sort of the same kind of climate as the north of France, ironically. But I think we stick to we are famous for the whiskey.
Mm.
The whiskey, the Irish whiskey.
Oh, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, there's
I've had
nothing
some
like a good Irish whiskey.
mead.
Irish mead.
The honey wine, yeah. I've had some good stuff.
Irish honey
made out of
wine.
honey.
Oh
Yes,
yes, in
yes.
Bunratty Castle. That's right, Jessica.
I know Bush
yeah.
Mills do one that's
Delicious.
yeah.
Yeah. Irish mead. So it's wine made with honey in it?
Yeah, it's fermented honey.
Oh.
Or ferment, however you get the alcohol into the substance. The honey is the sugar because you need the sugar to make the alcohol.
Right, right.
So it's a
Yeah,
fermented.
that could be your next venture with your bees.
Yeah.
That could be. I see that coming down the road. We could all buy shares into this and make a bit of money. with it.
Jessica, when you see the bees flying in a straight line, you know they're drunk.
Yes, that's actually very good. I'm gonna look out for that now.
Oh my God! Wouldn't it be funny if bees flew like geese, so that you had them all flying, like and the queen bee led or whatever, or the queen leads with the little ducklings. Make way for the bees or whatever.
A long trail.
Hey, I didn't introduce Jessica Martin. Jessica Martin is the owner of Jessica Martin Realty, the Martin Hives, and is a great avid reader who I love. And we've all read the same book today, and we'll talk about it in the next hour or so. But before then, we'll just kibitz amongst ourselves.
That sounds like a good morning to me.
Yeah. Hey. It's 6:41 in the morning. I think I want everybody to know that I'm playing all this wonderful Irish music today. And what's your favorite Irish song, Mary?
Oh my God.
Pick an Irish.
Well,
because I'm not going to play it, but you.
Pick it, but
there's one that we used to sing as a family, as kids. Is it The Town I Love So Well? Remember that one?
Yes.
It's a contemporary one, and it's about Derry,
City of
the
Derry.
city of Derry, or London Derry / London Derry, which is what they're calling it now. But and that's I guess
Bill Coulter.
Bill Coulter. That's a modern one. And then there's
What's the name of that song? What it's called?
The Town I Love So Well.
The Town of. Okay, would you do a
The
little
Town
of it?
I Love So Well.
The Town I Love So Well. Let's do. Would you do a little bit of it for me? Oh yeah. Oh, she's.
Bob, you put him on the spot.
Oh
That's
no,
not
but
fair.
I think Mary's going to sing.
So I say, in my memory, I will always see the town that I have loved so
Well.
They walk by the grassy yard wall, and we laughed through the snow and the rain.
Oh my God. Do you know Old Man River?
On
That
the
was so
spot.
damn.
That was amazing.
Oh,
Great
really?
job, Mary.
We're getting you on America's Got Talent, or maybe Ireland's Got Talent. I watched Ireland's Got Talent yesterday for about 10 minutes because they had an Irish tinker on. An Irish traveler. Her name was Sharon Ward. This was in 2019. And she said, I'm an Irish traveler, and I had no idea what an Irish traveler was. And then I had to look it up, and it turns out it's like people, like gypsies.
Like
in
a
Ireland.
bard?
Yeah. No, not at all. Mary will, or Kyle will tell us. What's an Irish traveler?
Traveling folk,
yes.
Romany traveling folk from like Europe, so there'd be elements of them throughout Europe and different countries.
Yeah, it's sort of like
They're
the
part of the
Romanian,
gypsy culture.
the gypsy culture. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the Irish rover, I guess, would be considered a tinker, right? They were called tinkers, and they traveled in little kind of stoga wagons like we had out west or stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they're basically poorer folk as well, and they were looked down upon. Am I right? I mean, like.
Yes, because it's tough. When you don't have any one place to call home, you're in for a tough life.
So they set up like encampments. They'll come to the edge of a town or a city or something, and there'll be a group of them, and they would have maybe today they've got more like, what do you call it, Winnebago things that they've got facilities, but long ago they would have had no toilet facilities or anything, so they would have just used the side of the street and
the river.
So it wasn't rivers and things. So there was the health aspect poor, and the hygiene aspect of it. And I don't think the children would have had school. They wouldn't have been in any place long enough to go to school or anything like that.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
they really they moved. They would have traveled around Ireland, and they were a small group. And they did things like they would knock on your door and to ask if you wanted your driveway paved, and if you
Odd jobs. Like
odd jobs. Do you want your doors fixed, or do you want this kind of thing? And
Right.
I mean, it's not a nice life. It wouldn't be.
Yeah, very hard life. So she sang this wonderful Irish song. First, she sang an American pop tune, and the guy said, "Why are you singing that? You said you're an Irish traveler. You love Ireland, all parts of Ireland, and I can hear an Irish voice within you." And then out of her came, "Oh my God, this heartfelt Irish. Her name is Sharon Ward, and if you Google her, Sharon is spelled SHRYN Ward, WARD, and oh my God, what a voice on this woman. And so at any rate, that's why I was watching Ireland's Got Talent. Now, so Mary, we're going to send you over. You're gonna make your appearance on our thing. We'll make up a story for you. All right, that your husband used to, or I don't know. Yeah, maybe this is it, Kyle. You're writing a book about Mary, and she escapes your life with you because of your love of.
And she runs away with you. Come on.
Oh, she runs away with me.
Yes,
She falls in love with an older Irish lad who has a radio show and television show. That's right. I think we've got the basis of a good song here. So,
Sounds good.
so speaking of that, let's take a break. We're going to come back and talk all things. And we are, I think, why don't we play, since I played the chorus, let's play the 650,
The Cranberries?
why don't we do the
It's a good
Cranberry?
song.
Yeah, but come in late because the song goes on for about 5 minutes, Peter. Do you notice that? I give you some times there. It's a very, very long song. Well,
It's a good song, actually.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's much too long. We have too much to talk about today.
Oh, for Christ's
Yeah. No, we really do.
You're going to miss the whole introduction, which is the best one of the best parts of the song.
Yeah, I know we are. We're going to miss that whole darn
I'll
long
take care of it, Bob. I'll figure it out.
All right. So as long as it's not a 5-minute break, because we've got too much.
We have so much to say.
Oh my
all
God.
It's only a 4-minute break, Bob.
Oh yeah. No. Okay. There you.
I'll cut out the break.
Bob,
Bob, let me produce the
play
show.
the song. Play the song.
Jeez. Good Lord.
WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Faith and Begora, it's Tuesday. Wow.
Bob said, "Don't let the song linger."
Yeah, I didn't. That was "Linger," thanks to our wonderful Dolores O'Riordan was the lead singer, and she was that was a very big hit for Dolores. And I never heard of the Cranberries, but
Well, they were huge in the 90s.
Yeah, they had a couple of hits in the 90s. Yeah.
Wow, and so unfortunately, Dolores died very tragically young, and then they decided to end the career of the Cranberries. So the Cranberry canon of music is complete now, and I listened to a couple. They're pretty extensive, pretty lovely. Yeah. So thank you, Chris, our music director from Wisconsin. We love you. And on St. Erhu and St. Patrick's Day celebration, it was worth hearing the Cranberries. Hey, everybody, we've got Kyle and Mary Darcy direct from the Boston area. You are somewhere in an undisclosed location in a bomb shelter. In a bomb shelter, a bar shelter.
The bar bunker. Yes.
Yes, and outside of Boston, and interestingly enough, you have a sign on. You have your two covers there on the. I have your book in the car. Incidentally, I had so many coffees I didn't want to chance dropping them. So. Under the Impression is your new book, Kyle. We did a whole show on it, but quickly tell everybody how they can get it and how's it going.
It's going very well. We're thrilled with the feedback we're getting, and especially during these days of the pandemic. Although your options are like independent stores like the Blue Umbrella Bookstore in downtown Westfield.
Sure, thank you.
And you've also got all the online portals such as Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Walmart and all the other options.
Right. Are you on Kindle? I noticed yesterday I got a thing from Barnes & Noble. Kindle has a new way you could publish your books on Kindle now. Did you know?
Straight to e-reader?
Straight to e-reader or something. Okay. I have no idea. But if I'll send you that later, Mary, so you can just look at it just in case there's something new there. But Under the Impression is a real thriller, and both Jessica and I gave it high marks when we reviewed it. It has soccer. It has, why am I talking? Kyle Darcy, the author. Quickly,
Quickly, Under the Impression starts off in the waning days of World War II, 1944, 45, and then it transcends continents and decades and spans through 50 years and wraps up at a crescendo in 1994 in the United States. And basically what it is that escaping Nazis blame the United States for the demise of the Third Reich, and they want to settle the score, so they employ drug cartels in South America as a means to flood the United States with drugs and right the wrong for what happened during World War II.
There's an Irish element.
Yes, there, of course. With any of my books, there has to be an Irish element. Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Is your main character an Irishman? I can't remember. What's his name?
This particular book, well, in the first book, Under Current Conditions, the main protagonist was an Irish gentleman, and the second book, I think Jessica will agree, there was maybe two or three.
Under Current Conditions. Thank you, Vanna White.
The second book, Under the Impression, there were probably two or three main characters in it that came out of there was the
Yeah, you had those evil twins, remember?
twins that
Oh, oh yeah. Now I remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That got scandalous, so it really stayed with me.
Naughty in places.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. The book is really a very good book, and actually, Under Current Conditions is also a very, very good read as well. And both of them can be found at kyledarcy.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, we don't sell off the website, but there are links there. Anybody who's looking for some stuff, and we have some links to the program that
Yes.
you and Jessica featured this discussions. But both of you read the book, and we had very insightful
Right.
questions and
Excellent.
reviewed the book, and very, very much appreciated. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So you go on Barnes & Noble. Kyle Darcy. Kyle's name is KYLEDARCY, like Mr. Darcy in, what was that Jane Austen book that Mr. Darcy was in?
I think Pride and
Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Darcy was the romantic heroine of Pride and... Everybody needs a Mr. Darcy in their life.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. Mary, how'd you ever get? Did you hook him with
It's
your
the luck of
Irish
the
wit?
The luck of the Irish, I got him.
Yes, yeah. And both of you guys are from what part of Ireland? You're from Northern Ireland, if I might say. Yes.
Yes, we're both from the north. Although Kyle's parents came from the south of Ireland, and mine came from the north, which sounds ridiculous in a country that's only 300 miles long, but it's like, I mean, the Irish language had dialects within it. And when we came over first, I couldn't tell the difference between someone that was from Massachusetts and someone that was from Texas, or somebody that was
Connecticut.
Yes, we couldn't hear, but now we can hear the southern twang. Your ear gets accustomed. So
Sure.
it's the same with even in the north where we're from. When I first met him, I thought he was from the Republic, from the south of Ireland, because he had a more of a what we would say a brogue, which is that soft, lilty Irish accent. That's very common, people from Galway and Cork and stuff. Whereas the part that we're from is the part that's still it's still British, under British rule. So we were more towards the Scottish, from the plantations, from when the people were brought over from Scotland and England and planted in Ireland.
So do you have the Scottish brr in your? Is there a Scottish brr sound when you speak?
In the north, much more so. Yes, you can tell. People in Ireland would know immediately that I was from the north. With Kyle, it's pretty different because his parents were both from the south of Ireland. As I say, he had a softer speaking voice, I think, than I did.
Yeah.
He's got more American, I think. You can more.
But listen, Bob, Mary just reminded me, you guys, you always do a flawless job on your selection of musics for your program. And I scanned what you had for today.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we have a little quick talk about a production talk and bring Pete in? Because everything's perfect except the last song. You've got the Skyboat song, which is Scottish. So is there any way we can switch that for make a recommendation for something more Irish, or is that?
Oh, you are absolutely right. Isn't this sounds the Skyboat song from Outlander.
Yes.
Yeah. Da da dum 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 da 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 da. It's not even about women. I thought it was about an Irish woman. And it turns out to be the king dresses up as or the prince dresses up as a woman, and then goes over the boat to Ireland, or I have no idea, or goes over the sea to Wales. No, I don't know. To Skye.
Yeah.
Goes over the sea to Skye, which is Scottish. Kyle Darcy, you are a wonderful picture with detective, because I would have never picked that up. Never. Yes, absolutely. I will play another Irish song instead of that. Believe me. Yeah, we'll save the Outlander. Do you guys what? Well, give us something to watch instead of Outlander, which is Ireland.
From our Belfast town, can we do a Van Morrison, like Into the Mystic? There's something that's similar theme.
Oh, Enter the Mist by Van Morrison?
Into the Mystic by Van Morrison.
He's from Belfast. He's from the north of Ireland.
Oh, okay. So Peter is checking on Into the Mystic.
Enter the Mystic. Is that
Into
what
the
it is?
Mystic.
Enter.
All right, I'll download it.
I enter. Okay, gotcha. Wonderful. Wonderful. Hey, Jessica, are you Irish at all?
No, but I am married to an Irish person, so I say I have a little in me, you know?
Oh, boy.
you women, you get it, you get it. Sean, my apologies. Does Sean celebrate St. Patrick's Day in any particular way?
Sean has always hilariously been an anti-St. Patrick's Day person because he takes a big stand on everyone else appropriating his culture. So he does not think it's funny that it's a big day for people to just get drunk and all the stuff that they do. But when I first married him, I was delighted to find that his family actually celebrated St. Patrick's Day. So he doesn't like the commercialization of the holiday, but we did go to my mother-in-law's house every year until she passed away, and she would cook the corned beef and cabbage and potatoes and carrot, and everyone would come, and the house would be packed, and it was really a wonderful time. Like, I was like, I didn't think this was a real thing, but they were real Irish people. So.
Well,
the Irish in Ireland were so poor that they didn't often have corned beef. It was just potatoes.
Well, isn't beef? In corned beef is a poor man's cut of beef. Am I
no,
correct?
it's not. It's a brisket. Well, actually, the briskets come in form now because of smoking meats and stuff like that. But yeah, the brisket was a little bit of a tougher cut.
Well, yeah, but don't you think? I think Darcy's. Kyle? What do you think?
My read on it, Bob, Jessica, and Pete, is that it came into vogue because when the Irish were immigrating after the famine and what have you, and the trip would take several weeks in the boat, that for food, it would be salted meat, so the corned beef would have been salted, so it'd be heavily salted to keep it from rotting on the trip. So and then the vegetables like the cabbage or whatever was something that could be would travel well or what have you. So I'm thinking maybe that was why when they got here it was a dish that was that had that connection with the Irish.
Sure, but you didn't. But corned beef and cabbage, is that considered an Irish delicacy over there, or is that totally an American tradition?
Bob, we never had it when we were growing up.
I was introduced to it when we came over here. I was like, it's what? We're a bit like Sean. He said, what?
Yeah. We were growing up, we had French fries.
Yeah, we had an American diet, like a European diet, and it was.
Because once refrigeration came in, there was less of a need to.
You didn't need to salt the meat.
You didn't need to salt the meat and things like that. So it got out of vogue,
Yeah. I really love corned beef for some reason.
It's delicious.
Yeah, and so I'm ready to cook my corned beef in a crock pot tomorrow.
And Bob and Jessica and Pete, I find that this is one of the wonderful things about the United States.
Yeah.
Each ethnicity brings elements of its culture to the fore or what have you. So it's like and we all get a chance to share other countries' foods and diets or what have you. So when you rank them, I can't imagine ours is right up there at the top. But at least we've got something to bring to the party.
I don't.
It might have been more. It might have been more traditional, like a traditional dish in the south of Ireland, and so when people left to come to America and everywhere else, that's what they brought. That was the memory they brought with them, and it's a traditional dish. Because we are from the north, and of the Scottish and the English influence, it's maybe just not so much. But that's not to say that it isn't an Irish dish, because it obviously is. It couldn't have that pedigree.
The big thing more in Ireland is the potatoes. And Bob, do you know why Ireland got the potatoes and the Arabs got all the oil?
I don't know why the Irish got the potatoes and the Arabs got all the oil.
Because we had first pick.
That's good.
Oh my God! Order that guy another pint, will you? order that. Speaking of, you got your. Do you have a pint?
He's drinking water, Bob.
Oh, is that water? Okay.
Good
Oh,
Lord.
all right. Yeah, but he's got it in an Irish whiskey.
Even
glass.
I know that.
Yeah, but he's got it in an Irish whiskey glass.
Bob, do you see the bullet, the shot glass? These are in Belfast. All the bars, the glasses are bulletproof. This one, do you see that?
Oh my God, is that correct? Oh no, is that really true? Look at that! Oh, for God's sake, there's a bullet in it.
That is adorable.
Oh my, take it back! Holy God! So
the other bit of Irish trivia we have here, we have a beer coaster, right? And it's from a bar, a cocktail lounge in a hotel in Dublin that Bono on the Edge. U2's Bono owns. So it's
and what's it called?
It's
the Clarence Hotel.
Clarence Hotel in Dublin.
He owns the Clarence Hotel now. I know. Wait a minute. I think the Clarence Hotel in Dublin appears in your book or two. Where did I read that? Really? Maybe I've read it in one of my Irish mysteries that I've been reading.
It features a lot. It's very famous. Yes, it's a very famous old hotel.
And it's very famous because my parents had their wedding reception in.
There you go.
In that hotel. Yeah.
I see. Do you have any other remnants of Ireland sitting down in that bomb shelter there or whatever?
Plus,
what is that on the wall right behind you over there?
This is the different bars in Belfast, all right, which I think Mary was thrown out of only one of them.
Yes.
I was thrown out of 3 or 4 of them, right?
We're banned from in Belfast.
Yeah.
Banned in Belfast.
Banned from Belfast. Oh my God. Hey, Jessica. No, they just admitted Mary was thrown out of one bar, and that's only in Ireland. That's only in Ireland, and Kyle has been thrown out of 3. Have you ever been thrown out of a bar?
I'm going to exercise my Fifth Amendment right now to not incriminate myself.
All right, I'm trying to think. I know that I have been, and I can't. It might have been that bar in Martha's Vineyard. I think I was, that we tried to steal the
causing trouble on the
chairs from. Yes, yeah. It might have been that one, but I think that was the only time I was thrown out of a bar. I have no idea. But hey, okay, so it is time for us to play the Irish Rover. Then we're getting back and we're going to talk. Perhaps we'll talk Blade Runner a bit because we have a wonderful.
Let's visit the topic.
We'll visit the topic. We may also just to give you a little update on where the house I'm selling. You want to buy a house on Hungary Hill in Springfield, you guys, the Darcys?
Yeah.
Would you like Hungary Hill in Springfield, Massachusetts? My family is selling a house on Hungary Hill in Springfield, Massachusetts. Hungary Hill is the Irish section, incidentally.
Okay.
And we have a 2-family house there. And in fact, it comes with its own tenant.
You can't get rid of her?
No, we got rid of the one. We didn't get rid of her. She moved out. The one on the first floor. The second floor guy, we've kept because it has helped to increase the value of the house to have the tenant there.
Really?
Is there a bar, Bob?
Is there a bar there in the house?
Yeah, we wouldn't be interested unless it's a bar.
Oh, there is actually, Jeremy on the second
floor.
Yeah,
there is in the basement. It's on the second floor. But
it's on the second floor.
There is a bar in the dining room.
There is a bar in the dining room. Yes.
Yes, count us in. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'll be. Well, Jessica will send you the specs later.
Once
Bob, you're not supposed to be doing business. We're a nonprofit.
Oh, for God's sakes! Yeah. No. They're not. No. They can't get involved with the first thing that a realtor, Jessica Martin, would say is what? Beware the Plass family.
Yeah, for things
I would never say that.
For things like this.
Tell you what I want. I can't even. I'm gonna see if I can do it slowly. Tell you what I want. What I really, really want. Tell you what I want. What I really, really, what I want is this song to end.
He just did the
Wheelie.
He just did the William Shatner version.
Wee. When I was a kid, that you guys, Peter plays that all the time. When I was a kid, I couldn't
It's one of your
pronounce
best cuts.
I couldn't pronounce my R's, which was really bad because my name was Wobbert. And that's why I'm known as Bob, with an emphasis on the B. At any rate, hey, let's let us do this before we have our listening audience totally confused. Why don't we play the Irish Rover by since we've talked about I think the
Gypsy Rover, right?
The Gypsy Rover. No,
Yes.
This is the Irish Rover. It's the Gypsy Rover.
Yes.
That's right, by Judy Collins, who is one of my favorite
confused
singers.
here.
Judy Collins. Yeah, the Irish Rover is different than the Gypsy.
Down through the valley so shady, he whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. You know it. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, la-day. Ah-dee-doo, la-dee-day-dee. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. She left her father's castle gate, she left her fair young lover, she left her servants and her state to follow the gypsy rover. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, da-day. Ah-dee-doo, la-dee-day-dee. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Her father saddled up his fastest steed, he roamed the valley all over. He sought his daughter at great speed, and the whistling gypsy rover. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, la-day. Ah-dee-doo, la-dee-day-dee. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. He came at last to a mansion fine, down by the river Clady, and there was music and there was wine for the gypsy and his lady. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, da-day. Ah-dee-doo, la-dee-day-dee. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. He is no gypsy father, she said. He's lord of these lands all over. I'm going to stay till my dying day with my whistling gypsy rover. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, da-day. Ah-dee-doo, la-dee-day. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. One more time. Ah-dee-doo, ah-dee-doo, da-day. Ah-dee-doo, la-dee-day. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for ArtsBeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, and it is it is March 16th.
March 16th.
March 16th.
Eve of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
Beware the Ides of March.
Yeah. Hey, somehow or other, I'm not hearing anything.
Are you
You
unplugged?
unplugged yourself, Bob.
Oh, I unplugged myself.
In all the
By the way,
excitement.
All right, wait a
I
minute.
saw somebody put up something about the Ides
I'll
of
just
March.
wait a minute. I
They
can't
had a
hear you.
crafts.
Where do I plug this in?
They had
Over
a.
here?
There's a thing hanging down, Bob. They had a craft bottle of Caesar dressing with a steak knife punctured through it, and it was leaking out a little bit.
That's a funny meme.
Oh my God, that
for
was hilarious.
Yep.
It was beware the eye. Can you help him, Jessica?
Where does it go?
There's a little thing hanging down. That's a
I see it.
microphone. Yeah. This is what I deal with, Kyle.
Oh, okay.
Pete.
Bob is very little technically inclined.
Totally.
Very little.
Yeah, totally.
If he ever had to run his own show, he'd just stay home.
No, oh God, I don't know how I could. How did they do it in the old days when there was only one person?
How did I come over to you and get a glittery shamrock confetti stuck to my hand? I don't see this anywhere else in the room.
Look in the back. We have shamrocks in the back over there. See them?
That's right.
Our guys, Bobby G and company, did their St. Patrick's Day show last Thursday because they won't be on before St. Patrick's Day. So I have my hat. I have my derby hat, my plastic derby hat and stuff like that.
I got it. Yeah. Well, we're celebrating everyone. If you just tuned in, my name's Bob Plass from Westfield on Weekends, westfieldonweekends.com, incidentally. We've got Kyle and Mary Darcy, who Kyle is the author and Mary is the editor of Under the Impression and Under Current Conditions, two wonderful books you can get on Barnes & Noble, at Amazon, and at fine retailers, small bookstores everywhere, and you can enjoy the really good writing. Are you on to the third book yet, Kyle? Are you working on that third book?
I got to be honest, Bob. I haven't put pen to paper on the third book yet. But it'll happen. I'm really busy. A lot of commitments at the minute or what have you, and it'll be a while. But
well, we'll be looking forward to it. Meanwhile,
don't you hate it when the real life gets in the way?
Oh God. I've
been trying to get some shows done for months now, and I just literally you run out of time.
Oh, you totally run out of time. I wondered, did you both get your shots? Have you had your coronavirus shots yet? No.
No.
Oh,
no.
I have.
I took James to Lynn, Massachusetts 2 weeks ago to a CVS in Lynn, Massachusetts. It was the only place we could get a shot. And oh my God, Lynn. That whole area could figure into one of your really one of your novels. Am I right?
Bob had his elitist moment in the hood.
Holy. Yes. What?
Lynn, the city of sin. You never come out the way you went in.
That's probably true with Mr. Plass.
That's exactly right. Oh my God! I said, James, I don't think we should. We're like two exotics. It's like sending Joe Exotic to really.
Hey Bob, big news from the Irish Cultural Center.
What is that?
They're reopening their restaurant tomorrow on St. Patrick's Day.
How do you like that? Oh, wonderful! The Irish Cultural Center is.
They have a
wonderful
restaurant over there that's run by the Delaney House Group.
It's a really great. They actually have some really terrific meals, and their fish is great. And
they have the Heelys on Saturday over there.
Wow, I don't think I would venture into a bar right now.
It's a restaurant
or a restaurant. Yet in an Irish setting, I don't know. Is the Irish Parade on in Boston this year? Incidentally,
no.
No. Oh, okay. And the St. Patrick's Day Parade, is it going to be anything? Is there
Nothing
any?
here. They canceled it. They canceled it a long time ago.
Oh, okay. But I know the Queen and her court, the Irish Queen and her court, are
Yeah,
out there.
they named all of the courts and everything throughout all the cities to continue that tradition.
Right.
Because they didn't feel it was fair to the girls.
I see.
To put it off.
Right.
Which is fine, but they have nothing really to do in it. I'm praying. I'm hoping everybody gets their shots, even those knuckleheads that say they won't.
Yeah.
And we move on to normalcy by June or July.
Yeah. Well, semi-normalcy. It will never be the same.
You'll never be the same, Bob.
I'll never be
You're
the same.
psychologically scarred. The rest of us are going to get back to normal as soon as we can.
Yeah. But
That's why I'm going to Texas in
I've
May.
been intellectually stimulated because this weekend I watched 2 operas. I'm almost up to. I've watched 100 operas, 100 shows from the Metropolitan. 5 of them were of the same. So I've watched 94 operas, and so I'm trying to get to 100 operas. I might have to go outside of the Metropolitan in order to do that because I've seen everything that they've done. I could see it twice, I suppose, but I think I want separate operas. So I maybe might be going on YouTube to watch the rest of my 100 operas. And believe it or not, I've started because of you guys. I have just developed this sort of fascination with sci-fi adventures and with Marvel comics. And believe it or not, I have decided, like last year, I said I'm going to learn about opera. I'm going to learn about the Marvel comic universe this year. So I'm watching on Disney Plus. They have all of the Marvel movies in chronological order. That doesn't mean where they came out, but in other words, this happens in this movie, which precedes that this happens in this movie.
So in the order they're supposed to be watched.
So the order that they're supposed to be watched. So I watched Captain America, the first Avenger, this weekend, and really enjoyed it. And I also, thinking it was is a situation comedy, I started to watch something called WandaVision. Honest to God, there is a series called WandaVision, and it is about one of the Marvel characters called Vision, and the other one is a witch, the Scarlet Witch, I think she's called, and they are. It begins as a situation comedy, and the woman ends up building it's really well done. The idea is she builds in her mind a place to go because her husband has died. She's married to a robot, incidentally, who's Vision. The Scarlet Witch is married to the robot Vision. And so in the first episode, she is, it's an I Love Lucy half-hour version. And in the second episode, it's Dick Van Dyke. And then they go to the 80s and they go to the 90s, and every one of them is based on a different thing. And it gets more serious and more Marvel comic universe. By the end of it, it is so well done. Honest to God, I said, geez. And that hooked me. And then Captain Marvel hooked me. And the book that we read for our book discussion this month hooked me. So, believe it or not, Bob is going to discover Marvel comics.
A whole new genre for you. That's a whole world of things to explore.
Yeah. Have you guys? Are you into Marvel comics? Are you intelligent about what's the word? Are you knowledgeable?
Well versed.
Well versed in Marvel comic heroes. Either no, the Darcys are not. No, they're shaking their heads. Jessica Martin.
Semi-familiar. I'm not big into the action movies and the series. Like, I know the characters and the players, and I've seen some of the movies and can watch them, but it's definitely not my favorite thing. Like, I'm not running out to see the new Avengers movie right away. Yeah, I guess it's here nor there for me.
Okay, well, I'll tell you whether it's here nor there after I'm on my 4th or 5th.
You get back to me. Tell me if I should spend the time.
I don't know how many buildings I can see blown up. I don't know, but or how many car chases, or how many times the hero comes in to save the damsel or the town in distress. I'm not sure, but we will see about this. So next on my agenda is Captain Marvel. So it's Captain America, the first Avenger, followed by Captain Marvel, and their backstories as well. So I'll report on this. Now, folks, we read Blade Runner.
We did, but actually we read The Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, because that is the name of the book. I cannot abide a book being retitled by the name of its movie.
That's exactly what happened.
Like it.
Yes. So repeat the name of this book again.
This book title is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And the movie Blade Runner was loosely based on this book.
Very loosely.
Very loosely.
Very loosely based on the book. Now, the book is, I had no knowledge of the book, so much so that I thought it was a graphic novel. I thought Philip K. Dick, who is the writer, that's right, folks, I said it. His name is Philip K. Dick. Not K. Dick, K. period, Dick, D-I-C-K. He is the writer. I thought he was an illustrator who did graphic novels. It turns out that no, he writes the sentences. He writes a novel. And so the Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is a very short novel. You can read it probably in, 2 or 3 days, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, was it like 200 pages?
Yeah, maybe 230 pages or so. Yeah. I'm wondering, give us a short précis of this, Jessica.
The book is about bounty hunter Rick Deckard, right? Decker's the last name?
Yeah, Deckard. Yeah.
Deckard. And he is here on Earth still, while most of our earthly people in this dystopian scenario have fled to the colonies of Mars, where they live after what they call it World War T.
World War Terminus.
World War Terminus. We've had our last World War, and we've colonized Mars as humans, and the setting is dystopian California. And if you're a resident in a colony on Mars, you may have an android to help your family do things, which they program them. They're just like humans, but they don't like the life of servitude in the colonies of Mars. So some of them have smartened up enough to decide to leave the planet and come back to Earth. And no androids allowed on Earth. So the bounty hunter's job is to find these androids, determine that they're androids, because it's hard to tell the difference between a human and an android.
Yeah, these androids even bleed, according to the movie. Yeah.
And then once you determine that it is in fact an android, you as a bounty hunter, your job is to retire it. So
I see.
That's kind of the premise, but I was actually fascinated by the electric animals because they're a very big part of it, and obviously that's mentioned in the title, but because it's dystopian, there are not a lot of living animals, so owning an animal becomes this super important part of your status as a earth-dwelling human if you have an animal. And if you don't have an animal, you can get an electric animal replica.
You can buy an electric animal replica so that you can keep up with your neighbors and pretend that you have a real animal. Yes. Mary, did she leave? Did Jessica's description fit your knowledge of that book?
That was a perfect description. It was well, the thing about writing I believe, Jessica, it's based in is it 2021? So it was like it's meant to be happening. It's like the irony was that it's meant to be today. So he got that bit wrong in that he had people living off world on Mars and things. That bit he didn't get right. But what he did, I thought that whoever picked the choice of the book was very appropriate because it's set in a time where something has happened. And I thought, like COVID, they were appreciating the animals because all the animals died. So suddenly things that nobody really noticed, like the animals, like a sheep or a spider, and those things weren't important pre-World War Terminus. But then after what happened, they appreciated life and they appreciated animals, and it's like us after this COVID thing. We now appreciate that it's all the grandparents who can't get a hug from their grandchild. It's we can't have neighbors over for dinner. It's all the things that we took for granted that we appreciate now. So I think that's one positive thing about COVID is that we've learned to appreciate what's really important in life. And it's like them in the book, big apartments, big homes weren't the thing anymore because there was so much empty space that was all decayed and
Right. Well, actually, there had been, because of World War II,
Yeah.
there was lots of dust all over the place, apparently.
yeah, yes, because remember after 9/11 there was nothing but dust.
Oh, I
dust.
remember this. Yes, yeah.
And so that's probably what will happen. It'll, things evaporated, and same as after the atomic bombs here on Earth, there was nothing but ash and dust, and that's what happened. So,
Can I just say, you can also tell when he wrote this book, I don't know, maybe it was in the 70s or 80s, what happened.
Yeah, I think it was 78, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds right.
But you can see how he still thought that smoking would be a thing in 2021, because to make reference to an ashtray and things like that, or what have you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's no smoking now anymore in the workplace and things like that. So it's funny.
He somehow or other missed that because, you would think that by that, but everybody smoked during that time. So, and what I found was interesting was that the human was threatened by the idea that a robot, an android, was getting so smart and that they were almost becoming more intellectual, they were getting to become almost godlike in a way, right?
Are we there yet? I mean, we've got phones that are prompting us with ideas and suggestions. I mean, we're getting there where our machines are pretty smart and pretty predictable and sort of sensing what we might want to this, what is it, the text where they prompt what they think you're going to say next, the next word you
oh
you
my
need.
God, yes, yes.
So that's an intelligence that's out there.
Because, Bob, I put it like, back when we were all living in caves, people started communicating, they'd draw a picture of a buffalo and people running after with spears, and it's like, that's how people communicated. And then we developed language and words and what have you. And now when you go to type something, you want to go for a beer, instead of beer, it puts up a frosty mug and things like that. So
Yes.
That our text messages are just a bunch of emojis. So we're like,
Oh, that's funny. I have not heard that, thought of that, or anything, that the emojis are just right back to the cave drawings.
No, but that is really kind of true.
That means we're regressing.
Yes, I love that.
Right.
Yes.
So if they ever do, when they ever see these where they have they find a mummy that's been mummified for a couple of millennium, 2,000 or 3,000 years, if they ever bring them back, they're gonna fit right in. Just give them their text.
Just give them a phone and
give them
they
a
can
phone.
communicate, no
Yeah.
problem.
I am really, as I read the book, I was thinking of our life and thinking that, geez, will there come a time that the computer will become like HAL in 2001, the movie 2001?
We already have that, Bob.
That they sentient, that they have the only thing that they have it, Peter?
The Google home appliances and the Amazon home appliances are getting very close to being sentient. They're getting closer and closer every day.
That stuff terrifies me, if I'm being honest.
It does. Yeah.
Peter, did a computer win Jeopardy?
Yeah, Deep Blue, I think, has played Jeopardy, I think. And done very
played
well.
Ken Jennings, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's IBM's Deep Blue.
But Mary, you were going to say something.
Well, I was going to say that our while they're getting smarter, we're getting, if you like, dumber, because the worst part of my day is if I'm afraid if someone's going to ask me my telephone number because I can't remember it. And back in the day, I would have had his telephone number, my telephone number, everybody else's. And so our brains were rehearsing it all the time, and we were going through stuff. And now we don't have to do all these things. We don't have to get up to do stuff. We can just program. It's like,
Oh yeah, it almost like the synapses in our brain of our neurons are making connections. The connections that we're making, we don't have to make the connections in our brain because the computer or the machine does it for us.
Yes. We hardly need to learn a foreign language now because the computer translate for us.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Language is going to be a thing of the past.
Well, once we're all writing in emojis.
there are no more language barriers.
No more language barriers.
Hold up your phone with an emoji sentence.
Yeah, I wondered, could Jessica, maybe you explain to our listeners how they tell the difference between a real human being and
an Andy
or an android
with the Voight Comp test, right? So they have this test they've designed to determine empathy, because that's the one thing the androids do not have. You can't program empathy into a robot. So he asks a series of questions and puts a little patch on the cheek to monitor some physical reactions. And the questions were very interesting, like a wasp lands on your arm, like. I thought that part was kind of cool.
What do you do? Do you kill the wasp?
What's a wasp?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I just thought that was neat. But yeah, once determined an android, you get retired almost immediately, I guess. So why anyone would sit down for that test, I would run.
Or the idea that, wow, I'm a human being, and if for instance, as I was reading and I was thinking, God, I wonder what that does to somebody like Trump who has, little or no empathy.
Lacks empathy.
Would he have passed that test?
A sociopath?
Or there may be people who are lacking in that ability to empathize because of their narcissism or whatever, their narcissistic disorder, and so therefore they would have eliminated.
Mistaken for a robot.
Yeah, mistaken for a robot. Yes, exactly right. Well,
I thought, speaking of the test, I thought he threw in a little test for us in that. I don't want to say over the air I'll not go into detail, but the spider part. Remember the spider part at the end?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was almost like the author putting in the test for us, because that appalled me. I felt awful for the spider. And I was thinking, if that didn't upset you, the reader, how near a robot, how near an android are you? Can you empathize with the spider? I thought that bit was very good.
That's very good, and the spider's legs are being taken
off.
I'm not.
I think
you were very good. Oh, I'm sorry.
I do think when you're talking about a book from the 70s, maybe spoilers are okay. Like if you haven't read it yet.
Yeah. Except I didn't tell how many legs were taken off. And does the spider live? I wonder.
Is it even a real spider?
Is it even a real spider?
Actually, Bob, they say that people that pick the legs off ants and stuff like that when they're kids, and do all that, magnifying glass are very likely to be serial killers. They have they're devoid of emotions. Completely.
Very, very, very true. So you got that dynamic going on in this book of who is human and who is not human, and let's make sure that we leave the earth to only those who are human. And yet there's a hierarchy in this. In this, talk about the hierarchy, Jess.
Well, there were, I guess, regular people. And then there were specials.
Yes, specials.
Chicken heads.
And chicken heads.
And I think there was an ant head, another diversion of the specials. So people who are less intelligent or damaged from the fallout from the dust. Because that's my favorite character was the special who was a chicken head, J.R. Isidore. I loved that character. He's my favorite character.
Yeah. Speaking of characters, this book is filled with various characters who we must talk about. Why don't we take a quick break? Peter, if you don't mind playing the very short Mary Black and Eleanor McAvoy song, which I loved for Women's History Month. This is a shortened version of a longer song, but it's a lovely tune. It's called Only a Woman's Heart Can Know, Only a Woman's Heart Can Be. Do you know this song, Mary? It is gorgeous.
If I hear the air, sometimes I'm not great. I don't remember. I remember names, but if I hear the air, I probably remember it.
Lovely, lovely song. This is the singer Eleanor and songwriter Eleanor McAvoy, who's joined by the great Mary Black.
My heart is low. My heart is so low. There's only a woman's heart can be. Only a woman's, there's only a woman's, there's only a woman's heart can know. The tears that drip from my bewildered eyes, taste of bittersweet romance. Still in my hopes, you're still on my mind, yeah. And even though I manage on my own, my heart is low, my heart is so low. There's only a woman's heart can be. There's only a woman, there's only a woman's, there's only a woman's heart can know.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
Join us the third Wednesday of every month with Selectman Joe Didi and his take on everything Southwick.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday, March 16th. We're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and we are celebrating in a great way with the great Irish couple from the lovely Northern Ireland town of Belfast, who have moved here, luckily, many, many years ago. And the author, Kyle Darcy, his lovely wife, the editor, Mary, and Kyle Darcy, pleasure, and Jessica Martin, the bee diva, the realtor diva. If you want to know anything about Jessica, you can go to Facebook to the Martin Hives about bees, Martin Hives, or you can go to JessicaRealty.com.
JessicaMartinRealty.com.
Oh, I forgot that.
But you got it.
JessicaMartinRealty.com. Yes, yeah. And she's probably got a blog there about her dealing with the Plass family saga.
It's a ongoing novel length
saga.
Oh
my God.
Yes,
we'll continue. Blog. Unfortunately, we don't have time for it today because
darn it.
Yeah. Oh, darn it. This would be, I think, once you know this saga, you could use this as the I think
That's true. It would make a good plot. If you're having trouble coming up with the third book, you could definitely write a story about Bob's family selling their house.
Yeah. It's really a good plot. And there could be a murder. There may be a murder. I mean, I'm saying it right here in the air. I could just see if anything happens, folks. Oh, God, don't look at me. At any rate. But, hey, we're talking a great book. Well, we'll talk about whether it's great or not, but Philip K. Dick's novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was made into the movie Blade Runner and is now commonly sold as Blade Runner, although the name of the book, and it was one of his first books, I think, Philip's first books. But I quickly, it was made into two movies, well, actually one movie, and one movie with a sequel. And the movie was the classic movie starring
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford, Rutger Hauer,
And your ex-girlfriend.
and my ex-girlfriend Sean Young. Yeah.
And please, let's talk about that. I do want to talk about the book, but we have to hear about Sean Young. There's no other time.
Did you know? Do you guys know who Sean Young is? You guys, yeah. You saw her in the movie. It's one of her first movies. She's also, I think, in Dune, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds right.
And then she was in the movie Baby, and with the Disney dinosaur movie, and that was about the time that I knew her. Now I knew Sean in New York City. I was introduced to her by my scene partner in my acting class, Peter Staniudis. Peter had a boyfriend who was Sean Young's assistant.
Oh.
And Sean, I met at a party once. Well, for the first time I met her was at a party, and of course she came in like a movie star. I mean, like she was at this point. She was beginning to be really well known, okay? Subsequently, she's well known for other things, including her harassment of the actor James Wood. Did you know that?
I don't know that. I'll have to give that a Google.
Or her harassment of the producer of Batman because she was going for Catwoman, and she wanted Catwoman more than anything else. And yeah. And then she's also known, as many of my friends are known, from Celebrity Rehab. She was on Celebrity Rehab, and when her career kind of took the dips after her harassment and her craziness during that time. Her craziness might have been caused by her drug use, for all we know. But at the time I knew her, she was sweet, and well, she was still Sean Young. And strangely enough, I was asked to, so I met her at a party and we talked, et cetera, et cetera. And then I got a phone call from Peter saying that his boyfriend was interested in my getting her 2 tickets. I at that time was working for an agency that was representing Ed Asner, and it was representing somebody else who used to pretend to be Albert Einstein. And so so the actor was going to do at Symphony Space a production of Ed Asner meets Albert Einstein at Symphony Space. And because Ed Asner was really into activism, et cetera, et cetera. And so we had Ed Asner and Einstein. So I get a phone call saying, is there any way that you can get me a couple of tickets? Sean Young would love to go because she just finished a movie with Ed Asner. It was This Side of Paradise, I think, or Love in the Afternoon, or one of those Fitzgerald books that Sean was in. And I said, well, let me see. So I got them tickets to this. And then Sean said, well, why don't we all go together? So I was so it was Peter and his partner, and then Sean Young and I walking into the theater together,
Nice.
sitting together, et cetera, et cetera, driving there together, et cetera, et cetera. In the middle of the, and not in the middle, but at the end of it, they had a series of questions that the audience could ask Ed Asner and Albert Einstein. And so they were passing around the microphone, and so all of a sudden, Sean raises her hand, and I'm sitting next to her, and she takes the mic, and she turns around to everybody, to the audience, and she says, I don't know if everybody knows who I am. My name is Sean Young, and I'm an actress. I'm in the movie Baby from Disney or whatever, and I want to ask you a question that's been bothering me, Ed Asner. what do you do with your celebrity? And, and the audience sort of said, who is this woman? And why is she, when she's introducing herself, etc. I'm saying, oh my God, and all eyes are on us, and I'm sitting there as their date, and I'm sitting there and I'm going under the table.
Stop
And
embarrassing
then
me.
Ed Asner says, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Young. And the audience, there was this
clap.
One clap here, one clap. It was so, oh God. So I subsequently then we went to a movie together another time, and then she sort of disappeared into her use of
her celebrity.
Her celebrity, and then she reemerged later on and became She was in the news for a long while. Go online and Google Catwoman, and she was also in a great Kevin Costner movie. This woman would, because of her acting in Blade Runner, she's a wonderful actress, actually, and now she's cleaned herself up. She's got children, and she's gained a lot of weight. I saw her in The Alienist. She plays a very minor part in The Alienist, but she's still getting work, and bless her, she's gone on, and thank God I didn't marry her.
Well, I mean, maybe her.
I didn't.
Maybe
No,
her life.
when
has
I
been
call her
better.
my girlfriend at the time, I was still gay. So I mean, I was her beard.
Yeah.
So if we might tell that. But at any rate, that's my Sean Young story.
It's awesome.
Did you guys see the movie, the Blade Runner movie with Harrison Ford? Have you seen it yet?
Yes, we did.
But it's not remotely like the book, really. I like the book better.
I thought the book was better.
Yeah.
I did too. I thought the book was better. James watched it and he said, I need help in knowing what's happening. And you were talking, Jess, you were talking to Sean, your husband. Tell that story.
My husband loves this movie. He's always loved this movie, and I've never really, I know it's one of his favorite movies, but I've never taken the time to watch it because subject doesn't appeal to me, right? Yeah. So I tell him that we're reading the book. It was one of the reasons I chose the book, because I'm like, oh, if our topic's going to be sci-fi, I might as well read this book, and then we can watch the movie, talk about it. But I watched the movie, and my husband owns 3 versions of Blade Runner. So it's Blade Runner the Final Cut, and then there's Blade Runner, the newer one, 2045, which is like a sequel.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So he chooses the uncut version for us to watch. He's like, well, this is the way Ridley Scott wanted people to see the movie. It came out second, but it was the director's real vision. Yeah. So I said, great, we'll watch this. It took me 3 nights to get through the movie. The movie's only 2 hours long, but I couldn't even tolerate watching it in one sitting. Yeah. There are some fantastic parts, and when I say fantastic, I mean in their cheesiness. Like when he gets in a fight, one of the androids in the book is an opera singer, and in the movie, she's more of a burlesque dance performer or something.
More a prostitute, I even.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, hard to tell. That's right. She's a pole dancer.
Yes, but the fight scene with her I thought was incredible when she has the clear coat on, and it's just very, very ridiculous and fun. Yeah. When did the movie come out? 1982. So I did enjoy the cheesiness of how you used to have to make a movie like that versus all the technology that we have now. But I felt like the movie just dragged on, and it didn't really make sense. It was very choppy, and there wasn't a storyline. Then I found out the original version of the movie has more of a film noir voiceover, where Harrison Ford is telling you with his voice the entire time what's going on. So I wish I watched that version. I will not rewatch anything. I'm not going back to another 2 hours of my life. But I do think I recommend watching the original version, if you've never seen the film, rather than the final cut, because I think you'll get more out of it that way, especially if you have not read the book. Because the book did help me fill in some of the blanks.
Yeah.
But, that movie was a dud for me.
Yeah. Well, on a scale of 1 to 5, what about the movie? Give the movie a rating, you guys. Kyle and Mary, 1 to 5.
Oh.
5 is wonderful. 1 is...
One because a young Harrison Ford is in it. 1.
1 only, and you're giving it that 1 because you like Harrison Ford.
The young Harrison Ford.
The young Harrison Ford, the very handsome, round-faced Harrison. I never knew his face was so round.
And your girlfriend, because of your girlfriend.
Oh, and my cousin Bob's girlfriend, Sean Young. Okay, thank you. Kyle, what are you...
I'll give it a 2 because I empathize, because I'm not an android, but I empathize with artists and what they have to do and put their and put everything they have into a role or what have you. So I'll give it a 2.
All righty. Jess?
I'm also very low. I'm going to go with Mary and be a 1 on this one because I really, it took me 3 evenings to get through 1 2-hour film just because I couldn't take it anymore. I would sit there and watch it, and then my thoughts would start to, I'm like, I'm not even paying attention, turn it off. So yeah, the movie is not high for me.
I'm giving it a higher mark. I must have been, I don't know, in caffeine or something. Or maybe I had one too many glasses of wine. But I really liked the movie. I thought the movie was stylistically an incredible visual feast.
I think that's why Sean likes it. I think you just nailed it right there.
So I'm giving it a 3.5.
Oh.
So, but it looks to me like it's below 3. So, folks, the final cut, you better watch the real version of it. Now, the book. How about between 1 and 5? What are you giving the book and why? Let's start with Mary Darcy.
Well, like Jessica, this is not my forte. I'm not a science fiction. That genre doesn't really appeal to me. But I thought it was well written. I thought the first chapter was very, very good in the first few pages, actually, because the conversation that he had with his wife, I thought in a very, 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 very short time, he brought us to a place where a lot of married couples end up, and it's the place that when you're in the early stages, it's like, how do people end up there? You know, that kind of thing. And I thought that was very, very clever that he was able to put me in a spot that was in such a short time. And he also likes to use words. He won't use, as an author, he won't use a little word if he can possibly find a bigger one. And I think the word, not kibble, kipple.
Kipple, yes.
I think he made that up.
Yeah.
I think he did, yes.
That was his word. So because of that, because of what he did, and I know he was...
Kipple is junk, everybody, basically.
Yeah, but it's his word. I think he coined that word. He made that.
Yeah.
And so because of for that creative process, I'll give it, and because I liked it, and it's not a genre that I would pick, so I'm going to give it a 4 for that because it engaged me. And I read it. I didn't mind reading it. So I'll give it a 4 because of what he was able to do.
Yes, yes. Kyle, quickly, Peter was going to be 4. A 4. Great. Jessica.
I was going to be a 3, but I'm raising up to 3.5 because of something Mary said earlier about the spider and the empathy and the potential tests that the author was putting in there for us as a reader. This book can be looked at on so many deeper levels and like applied to life outside of just the spider.
We haven't even talked about mercerism and religion and all of that sort of stuff.
Things that are in there.
Oh man, there's tons of stuff, and that's why I'm giving it a 4 as well. So. All told, I think that we have a winner here. Do androids dream of electric sheep if you want a good read? The Darcys are going to be welcome back at any time. And would you love to participate in another book discussion sometime?
Yeah,
soon?
absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Listen, I'm wishing everyone a happy, happy New Year, but more importantly,
St. Patrick's Day, maybe?
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Well, tomorrow is the New Year of the Irish folk, in a sense. It's New Year's. Hey, if you want to buy Kyle's new book, Under the Impression, or his old book, Under Current Conditions, go to Barnes & Noble or Amazon, and you'll see it right there. And if you want to get a hold of Jessica, you could get a hold of her at jessicarealty.com. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can go to Westfield on weekends, or you can see us next week on the show when we have another wonderful event. Hey, we're going to go out with Van Morrison and Under the is it called Under the Mystic?
Into the Mystic.
Into the Mystic. We love you, Darcy's. Love you, Jess. See everybody.
Great to see you all.
Be well. Be healthy. Wear those masks.